Good evening, gentlemen and ladies, and thank you so much for being here with me on the call this evening. The concept I want to share with you tonight is something that I consider to be a divine inspiration. And sometimes I think people get revelations in different ways. And for some of us, it happens in the form of dreams. And for some of us, it happened in the form of brain waves. It is something that has been there all along. But then somehow the dots finally connect, and then you catch it. And then you're like, wow, how come I never thought of this? So this happened to me recently. And the brainchild of that revelation is what I'll be sharing with you this evening. Before that, let me go into a little bit about myself for those who probably are encountering me on this call for the first time. My name is John Bose. I'm currently the Skyward Community Regional Curator for Nigeria and the African Macro Regional Director for Skyward Community, and that covers the Senegal, Ghana, Benin Republic, Nigeria, and there's one more country, one more French-speaking country. I think I mentioned Cameroon already. So it covers 5 countries. Now, in the last 10 years, I've worked as a freelance affiliate marketer. Network marketing has been a passion for me. I think I got this from my mom because when I was very young, my mom was in the network marketing industry. Although she didn't stay long in it, but I was able to see there was a pamphlet she brought home one day. I read it, and I was able to see a career progression that was more or less defined. And if you just follow these templates, you could reach all these amazing benefits. So as a young person, it was so exciting for me. Now, I grew up, forgot about all those childhood dreams and childish things. And then I encountered the concept of network marketing again in a book by Robert Kiyosaki. Many of you may have read that book or heard about it, called The Business of the 21st Century. I sat with that book and I ate from that book. I read it over and over again, and I was impressed by a business model that was so simple and yet so profound that it could take anybody from any point in their career journey or in their financial journey to incredible success. Of course, anybody will be amazed by such a concept. But when you get involved with such business or business models built on leverage, you come to find out that it doesn't apply in every case as it looks on paper. The reality can be quite different from the, let me say, the practical application is very different from the theory. Someone says they cannot hear my sound. I already did a sound check, and I got confirmation that my audio is okay. So please check if you are connected to the audio. I think somebody should help him out in the chat. Let him know how he can connect to the audio. All right. Someone should just help him out in the chat to give him directions on connecting to the audio. Now, like I was saying, this business model is amazing, and it can actually help you achieve incredible results in your financial life and in your career. And you can actually do this alongside any other thing you do. So this is suitable for professionals. It's suitable for people working from home. It's suitable for stay-at-home moms, what have you, especially now that we have all these amazing tools. We have the internet, we have the artificial intelligence. Like, this is such an incredible time to be alive. There is nothing, absolutely nothing that you can imagine that you cannot create, especially now that we live in a creator economy. But let me not digress too much. The focus tonight is on showing you how this business, the network marketing business, can work for you without you having to do all of the traditional heavy lifting of recruitment. And I will tell you how I came to this very simple yet so profound a concept that I was wondering to myself all along that why did I never think of this? Now, my journey as a network marketer started in 2016 in the month of March. So I'm already 10 years, or I will be 10 years in the industry by next month. So this coincided with the end of my service year. I wrapped up service on that month of March 2016, and I got introduced to the concept of network marketing on a platform called Helping Hands International. Some of you have heard of it. And that company was introduced to me by the community liaison officer, that's the CLO of my service year, a lady I served with. She passed out before me. She was the CLO during the time of my service. And when she went back home and got introduced to the concept, she was still in communication with some of us, and she shared it with us. Now, at this point in my career or in my journey, I was about to wrap up service, considering what next, like many of us in that stage of life will be thinking. And then somebody was introducing me to a concept that I saw the possibilities, and I saw that I could afford the minimum entry. So I decided to take a chance with it. And of course, I remember that my mother was at a point involved in things like that. And I was interested to try it out, which I did. Well, I will tell you, it was not exactly as easy as I imagined it to be. And I struggled for 9 months without getting very meaningful results. I met a friend who introduced me to another company. Of course, I was stubborn. I refused to move. However, she was stubborn as well. So she registered me in the platform with her money. And at that point, I had to make a decision. Now, I could ignore what had been done, or I could actually take a look at it. And so I took a look at it, compared it with what I was doing. I saw benefits and comparative advantages on that platform. And then I took a chance in promoting it. And I discovered that the people in my community then, Helping Hands, were so interested in that business that, well, within 4 months, I had built a team in that business enough that I won 2 cars simultaneously in that platform. And it was a very, very amazing time for me because it was validation. Many people who had known me as a network marketer with no results, beginning to see that this business model was actually as exciting as, the kind of results it brought for me. They were more interested in paying close attention to it. Now, one of the things you realize very quickly when you have achieved success in certain business platforms is the question of sustainability and stability. Now, that platform, when I got to that point, I expected that the journey would become smooth. And of course, it does become easier when you start to get results. However, the platform had a management team that was not very ethical. Let me use that word. And the CEO had some business practices that he involved himself into using company resources, and he could not recoup those the capital he invested. In short, he bankrupted that platform, and the platform eventually collapsed due to wrong management. Now, I took that experience and I made sure that the next business I venture into, I take those lessons into that business. So I looked at management as one of the key factors for making a decision in which platform I partner with. And then I worked with some other platforms, and they had good management, but then they had what I can call structural errors. Structural errors. One of those platforms was a platform coincidentally, one of the persons who met me while I was on that platform and introduced me to the platform I'm currently on is on this call. I was on a platform called JAMA Life Helpers Global. Now, on that platform, they had a little bit of structural errors in their foundational setup. And we did not know, we had no idea. However, when you build on a wrong foundation, whether you are aware of it or not, it can still, if your house is going to collapse because it's built on a wrong foundation, it will not collapse with sentiment. It will collapse whether there is somebody in that building or not. So foundational and structural integrity is very important. While I was on the platform Jama Life Helpers Global, I built a team that in numbers ran into 120,000 plus partners, and it was across Africa. I want you to understand the extent and the depth and size of the community I built. And this happened within a span of 3 years that I was with that platform. Now, building this team was relatively easy because the entry into that platform, and as at that far back as at, I think this was 2020, 2021. So as at that time, entry into this platform cost 2,000 Naira. And because this entry point was very affordable, the team was able to grow and scale very fast. So within a short period of time, I saw my team reaching numbers as much as 120,000 partners, a majority of which were from Togo and some other African countries. So I had a team that actually spanned different countries, and it was a very vibrant team. But unfortunately, the year 2020, August, the platform Jama Life Helpers Global had those structural issues I mentioned came to when you say you have your chickens are coming home to roost. That was exactly what happened. Because this platform, they had issues with the Security and Exchange Commission, and the issues where they tried to resolve them in court. They lost the case, and they had to restart their platform, and I lost my team of 120,000 people. As at this point, I had won my third car, which is the car I currently drive today, from that platform, Jama Life Helpers Global. But what happened afterwards was I realized that it doesn't matter how far you go, how well you build. If the platform on which you build has foundational errors, it can eventually cost you years of effort. Now, I'm sharing this story with you tonight because when I took all the learnings and all the lessons, I decided that my next platform cannot be a platform that is owned by or operated by Nigerians or Nigerian administrators. It has to be something international or multinational in origin and scope. And so I met a lady. She's on the call. I met Mary Augusta Acolyte, and she told me about a very wonderful opportunity which I am still leveraging today. And it was the opportunity to finance a technology in its pre-IPO phase. So I got involved, very passionate, financing this technology and becoming a co-owner of their portions before it goes to the public market. So we supported this technology in a platform. The technology we supported was string technology, and the platform under which we supported this technology was Skyward Community. Now, we have supported this technology from its inception in 2014. People have been financing that technology. I got to know about it in 2019, March of 2019. And then I just bought portions for myself because then I was still actively promoting Jama Life Helpers Global until August 2020. Then when Jama Life had their issues with SEC, I then entered into Skyward Community as a promoter. So I wasn't just buying portions for myself anymore. I was letting other people in on the opportunity and they were buying as well. I started to build a team again from scratch in a platform now, Skyward Community, financing UST technology. And I did that from that point until January, precisely the 19th of January, when the platform and its customer had more or less like policy changes and policy shifts that made them sever their business relationship in such a way that the financing for string technology is still continuing, but no longer under Skyward Community. Before now, there used to be two platforms that finance string technology, and Skyward Community was one of them. But now there is a policy shift, and it's now making string technology financing to be centralized in a platform, not Skyward Community, a platform called RSW. And that platform, based on the fact that it's now going to be exclusively funding that technology, all the partners in Skyward Community who wish to continue supporting the technology now have to migrate to that platform. So at this point, I'm losing my team members again. So it's like living and reliving the same experience all over again. And it is very, it's like having to go through a heartbreak. And, you know, it's not just a heartbreak because it is a source of livelihood. So you don't just get heartbroken. You also have to figure out how to restart your business engine all over again. And so I stopped to think that we cannot keep doing the same thing, building businesses and platforms, building businesses on platforms. And then if there is any maybe shift, structural changes, platform collapse, bankruptcy, we will start all over again. Because in the business of network marketing, your strength as a network marketer is in your team building. And not just in your team building, but in your team retention. So you do not just need to, you don't just build a business, you need to maintain and retain that business structure. And I started thinking, how can we do this such that even if a platform should collapse today, the team we build will not need to suffer the consequence of collapse. Or in the case of platform migration, if a platform you belong to today, like in the case of this example I just gave, there's need for a shift or a migration, you do not lose years of effort. What can you do to secure your team? And if you have to move, your team will move with you. And it hits me. We can have this team external to the platform such that the team structure is maintained as an external entity. And whenever you see a business that you want to leverage, you go in there with that team, leverage it with that structure that already exists, and you can replicate this across multiple businesses. And that led me to start designing the schematics and the framework for such a team's existence. And I gave it a name, which I call Anchor for 254. Now, why did we give it that name? I will explain all of that in a few minutes. Let me just share my screen. And I will also tell you how this team will operate. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this dedicated team will be made up of two foundational structure. We would have the core structure made up of levels 1 to 7, and we will have the expansion layer made up of levels 8 and 9. Now, the core structure, levels 1 to 7, are built as a binary 2x2 matrix. For those who are familiar with network marketing, you already know what this is, but for those who are not, let me explain. It means that in the first level, we would have 2 people, and in the next level, we would have 2 people each under those first 2. So what we get is a structure where level 1 would have 2 persons, level 2 will have 4 persons, level 3 will have 8 persons, level 4 will have 16 persons, level 5 will have 32 persons, level 6 will have 64 persons, and level 7 will have 128 persons. Now, the total number of persons in that core structure will be 254 people. And each position in that core structure is secured by participants by payment. So all these levels will be levels that will attract a payment. Participants will pay for and secure these levels. Now, once they pay and secure these levels, that position is fixed for them and is transferable across different platforms and different businesses. So that payment is basically an investment, which will be producing value for you as the team moves across different businesses. You basically are earning money from the business they do on the various platforms they operate on. But it doesn't end there. That's just for the core structure. There is also the expansion layer, and that is the exciting thing about this team. This expansion layer is where the money that the team members in the core structure are paying to secure their position will be deployed. And it will be deployed in different ways. The first is it will be deployed in advertisement and team recruitment. So what happens here is that the administrators of the team will take these funds, which have been generated through the core members, and use them to do sponsored advertisements in order to build levels 8 and 9. So level 8 will contain or will have 256 active partners. Level 9 will have 512 active partners. That's a total of over 768 active partners under the core 254 partners. Now, all these people, their responsibility in this structure or in this team is to generate activity, is to generate volume, momentum, as well as continuity. Because you don't just create a team and at the end there is no engine to move that team. If you join a business where you just finish registering and everybody sits down, it doesn't go anywhere. And if it doesn't move, money is not being made. Money is not fixed. Money moves. As a matter of fact, the reason they call it currency is that it has to move, just like the currents in an ocean. It is not stagnant, it is not fixed. So these people will generate activity and continuity. As they perform activity, persons in the structure, in the core structure, will earn income. The persons in the core structure will also perform activity of their own, and that activity will create spillovers and also create momentum and volume. So everyone in the core structure has, sorry if your mic is open, you can kindly mute your mic. There'll be a time for questions. So just wait until the Q&A and then you ask your questions if you have any. So like I said, everyone in the core structure has a guarantee of activity under their structure, and they have a guarantee of a minimum of the first and the second level of active partners in their structure. Now, for those that are higher up in the structure, they can have activity flowing up to 8 levels, depending on the position. So people in level 1, for instance, they would have 6 levels of the core structure under them and 2 levels of the expansion layer under them, which will make a total of 8 levels under them and a total of 512 active partners under them. So you can imagine entering a business where you automatically already have 512 active partners under you. Not only would you have made good income just from the entry into that business, by the time those people begin to carry out activities, your income continues to consolidate and expand. Look, I will tell you as a product of network marketing that it is one of the shortest cuts to a very meaningful career that I have seen anywhere. This applies not just in Africa or in Nigeria, but everywhere across the globe. this is a business model that works. If you read Business of the 21st Century, you will understand it better. I'm not here to talk about network marketing. I'm here to talk about how you can make money through network marketing by having a team that will work for you. Now, the very interesting thing about building a business is structure. In fact, somebody say structure, just type structure in the chat room. Because in the last 3 years, I have worked as curator for Skyward Community, and I have also worked in the capacity of the macro regional director. All we have been doing is creating structures. We met a system where there was a system that was absent structure. There was no structure. There was activity without structure. And then we started to think about how to make it more structured. And in the last 3 years, I have become quite good at creating very meaningful, sustainable business structures that are applicable to network marketing business models. Now, we have tested our capacity with doing that, and we want to replicate that for you. You are basically hiring me, yes, with my 10 years of experience in the network marketing space, to work for you for free. And not just to work for you, but to bring in an administrative team that will work for you as well. So I will not be working for you alone. My administrative team will also work for you. They will be brought out from within the structure. So the administrative team will be made up of people who are also part of the core 254 partners. And there will be 4 defined areas of responsibility. It can be increased beyond 4, but for the very beginning, we are anticipating 4 areas of responsibility, or 4 departments, if you would call it that. So the first department is the department responsible for the major and most important aspect of any network marketing business, which is advertisement and leads generation. Because if your business is not getting eyeballs, you are not in business. So whoever is here on this call that you do business and you don't have an advertisement budget, you're not doing business. You are doing something else. Your business must have a way of predictably bringing eyeballs into that business. So if you don't have that, you are just trying your luck. But if you can predictably bring a flow of traffic of interested potential buyers to your business, and you can explain your business to them in such a way that they are nurtured and their interest is brought into the point where they can convert that interest to purchasing activity in your business, then you have sales. So we'll have the team that will be responsible for that, for advertisement and lead generation. So these are the guys who will help you get the active levels in the expansion layer into the core structure. Number 2, we would have the department for presentation and training. Now we know we are going to do multiple businesses together with this team, this dedicated team. So we need to have a dedicated unit within the team that will make it their responsibility to learn about those businesses we want to do together in order to explain it to those people who we will be involving in that business moving forward. So we would have a department responsible for presentation as well as training. The 3rd department will be responsible for registration and onboarding. Excuse me. Registration and onboarding will be very important because placement on a metrics is very sensitive aspect of building a network marketing structure. So we will have to, on paper, right? Not like physical paper, but I mean, there will be a template. Before we take from that template and place it in that order on any platform, that dedicated team, in the order in which it has been arranged, will need to now be placed on a business platform. And it will be the responsibility of the registration and onboarding unit to carry out this activity. And in any business we do, where we now need to bring in the new participants, the cost structure of 254 persons are already there. The new partners who will come in, they will need to be onboarded. We will need to tell them things about how to set up their account, how to complete basic things like KYC verification, depending on the platform, how to navigate the back office of the platform. This unit will be responsible for all of that. Then we would have the unit for communication and moderation. We would have one group on WhatsApp for the dedicated partners in the core structure. And this is those who eventually take positions in the team. Of course, right now we have a group where on WhatsApp, some of you are on that group, where we talk about this idea. So those who might be interested in participating in this dedicated team, when we share the idea and you then decide to join the main team, we would have a group where the main team will be getting information about what platform we're about to go into, and perhaps when registrations will start, etc. So that group and all the communication and moderation in that group will be handled by the unit for communication and moderation. This team and the administrators of each of these departments will be accountable. The activities of their roles and the responsibilities of their roles will be measurable. Their performance will be tracked and they will be remunerated. What does that mean? We will pay them. They will not work for free. We will pay them. So if you think, oh, the amount of money that people are bringing into the system, part of it to be used for the remuneration of those departments and those people who are working in the dedicated team. Part of it will also be used for advertisements and lead generation. So this is the structure. And the structure is not one person trying to do everything, but the structure is a team of people doing different things and a system that remunerates and rewards their efforts. Now, when we have this team with these administrators and partners who have secured positions, what will we do with it? Ladies and gentlemen, we will make money with it. Like, there are too many businesses out there that if you have a team as a good network marketer, you can go into those businesses, study their business model, and make very good money with your team. And the good news is that in a team like the dedicated team we're about to create, if anything were to happen to the platform, the team remains intact and we can have cross-platform replication. Cross-platform replication, what does that mean? It means that we can take the team, move it to another business platform, migrate it to another business platform, and continue to rinse and repeat the process. And each one of our partners will get the majority advantage for being in a team and not having to build from scratch. Now, when the team enters any new business, everyone in the core position gets to keep the same position they occupy. Same level, same structure, same advantage. If the platform were to have any issues, bankruptcy, issues with regulators, platform migration, change in direction, our team remains intact. We don't have to rebuild. We don't have to wait. We don't lose our positions. We take the team and we move it to another business and continue business as though there was never any platform slowdown. I think at this point, if you resonate with such an idea, just give me a thumbs up in the chat. The next thing we'll be moving on to is the Q&A where some of your questions will be answered, after which we will talk about the risk and benefits, and then I will open the floor to hear your questions, if any. Thank you so much for that feedback. Just give me hearts if this is a good idea. You think this is something that will be helpful to people building businesses? Just give me your reactions. Thank you. All right. So now I move to the Q&A section, after which I'll talk about the risk and the benefits. Now, the first question I have here is, what is Anchor Core254? This is a dedicated binary team made up of only 254 secured positions. Every position is fixed, and once you secure a position, you can reuse it across multiple businesses. Why is it called Core254? That's because the maximum number of fixed positions, the core positions, are only 254 in number. That's 7 levels in a binary structure, from level 1 to 7. And only 254 people can sit in those core structure, and there will be no expansion beyond that. So this is not as though we are trying to say the positions are scarce. They actually are scarce. Like if somebody were to take one position today, there is no longer 254 positions, but 253. And once those positions fill out, nobody else can be admitted into the team unless someone were to leave. And I will come to that in a minute. So now, how is the structure arranged? It's a top-down binary matrix. I'm going to show you a demonstration of it. I'll have to connect with a different device and show you a diagram representation of the structure. So it's a top-down binary matrix. Level 1 will be under the team lead. Level 2 to 7 are created beneath level 1, and each level expands in size by multiplication by 2. So it is a binary structure. Level 1 is the highest position, just below the team leader. Level 7 is the activation point, the point from which we'll begin to do registrations to bring in people for level 8 and level 9 and create activity, volume, and continuity in the structure. Now, when you pick a level in the structure, what does it determine? Your level determines 2 things. Number 1, it determines your structure depth. It also determines your structure's activity. For example, if you are in level 7 is the last level. You still get your first 2 levels, because when we recruit level 8 and level 9, you would have your first 2 levels and a minimum of 6 people under you. But the guys in level 1 would have as many as 8 levels under them. That is 512 people under them. Yes. Now, you may not necessarily have to pick just one slot, because some people have, expressed the idea that they already have an existing team. Maybe they have a community they already work with. You can take, for example, the first level of level 3, then you take 2 levels in level 4, 6 levels in level 5, 8 levels in level 6. You can just fix your team the way it is in the structure. You can just take a portion and it will be you and your team members, or you and your family members, as the case may be. So you can come in with a family strategy. You can come in with a team strategy. So if you already have a team, you can still lock in the positions of your team the way it is in a position in this dedicated structure. And the benefit for you and your team members will then be that you will now have more people under that your original team to work with. And if you have to move to a different business, your team members will not disappear. The most important thing here for you is that you get continuity across various platforms. As a person who has lost his team members 3 times in 3 different businesses, I can tell you the experience is not funny. It's like a man who flood washes away his house. I can tell you for free, that man would not like to build in that same environment where they are having repeated flooding disaster. He will want to build somewhere where they will not wake up and find that the house he lives in is gone. So that is why you need a team that is your own, not a team that belongs to the platform you built it upon. You need a team that when you want to move to a different business, your team is intact and is moving with you. All right, let's move on. So your structure, your level determines the number of levels you get under your level. Also, it determines the activity. So you'll be getting either 6 persons under you if you're in level 7 or 512 persons under you if you're in level 1. Every other level gets a number of active partners under them, but everyone gets advantage and everyone has different price points for entry. So those in the lower level, they get to pay lower amounts. Those in the higher level, they pay higher amounts. But I can tell you every entry point is very affordable. And we'll get to that very soon. Now, the next question is, where does recruitment happen? Recruitment is very essential for building a business that continues to grow, continues to achieve momentum. And it starts at level 7. So it removes pressure from you to recruit by yourself. However, it does not eliminate it. So don't imagine that I join a team and I'll just sit down there and do nothing. So you can actually still recruit the way you normally would. However, you will be having assistance from a team. There's this popular statement that if you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go with people. And that is the concept upon which this idea is built. The anchor Core254 is a team of people who will work alongside you in your journey to financial freedom and success through the network marketing business model. How does the activity enter the system? Activity enters in through 2 levels, which we refer to as the expansion layer. That's level 8 and level 9. These levels are funded through advertisements managed by the team administrators. And please take note, this is not something we will restrict to just one business. So if we do this in one business and we go to the next business, we are doing the same exact, we are following the same exact blueprint. We are repeating the same exact process and following the same exact, the word is not coming to me, the same exact script. Now, level 8 and 9 are important because they ensure that under the core 254 persons, there is activity, there is continuous upward flow, because those persons that are being recruited, they will generate depth as they begin to work and bring in volume into the structure. Those structures begin to go as far as 15 levels, etc. So you get consistent upward flow. Let me tell you one very real truth. You don't need too many people in a network marketing business to make very good income. As someone who has been in a network marketing business for the last 10 years, I can tell you this for free. There are businesses where you have an unlimited number of recruiting slots in your first level, for instance. And you can only in that first level, you can have an unlimited number of people whose activity can generate for you 5%, 10%, 15%, for instance. And that can be very sustainable income for a very long period of time. So you do not need too many people or too many levels. But here you can even have up to up to 8 levels of active partners in your structure before you even begin to put in your own personal effort. So think about that. Also, the system does not depend only on your personal effort. This team is there to support your personal effort. So what do you gain when you secure a slot? You gain position advantage, a position that you own that cannot be displaced. You get guaranteed level of active partners under you. You get a structure that works even when you yourself begin to slow down. Now, can you as a person secure more than one slot? Yes. You can secure slots for yourself, your spouse, your children, if they are of the age of 18 and above. You can secure slots for your existing team members, and you can build it into a team and or a family architecture. Now, what happens if a business platform being leveraged by this team were to fail or change? Very simply, the team will move. Your position remains and is replicated into the next business using the same level and the same placement. You will not need to be rebuilding your business from zero. You will not be rebuilding from the ground up. All you need to do is start from where the team has stopped. So if you already had a level where you have 512 persons under you in the core structure, and maybe you were in a business platform and you built to, say, for example, 1,000 persons, and that business had issues. When you are moving to the next business, you know you are entering there with at least a guaranteed 512 team members with you. You're not starting from zero. You're not starting from scratch. And let me tell you one thing. We can start building this thing today. We may not build all the 200 and all the 7 levels and 254 partners in one day, but I can tell you one thing. The very moment we get all the slots filled, we have achieved our objective. It doesn't matter if it happens in the next 1 week or in the next 1 month. Once we get that 254 persons of like mind committed to this idea, all the slots are gone. And we will not come and create another Core254 for those people who like to take their time and miss out on such opportunities. So take note of that. Now, the next question is, who manages the recruitment, the advertisement, and the coordination? This is where the team, the roles and the department I mentioned earlier, this is where they come in. The administration includes advertisement and lead generation, the unit responsible for presentation and training, another unit for registration and onboarding, and another unit for communication and moderation, while the admin of the group of the team will handle platform assessment, review the platform that the team is going to go into. So it's not that because we have been able to build in a risk management system where we can cushion the effect of the risk of platform collapse, we'll then just go into any platform and just, because we feel like, yes, we have a team that even if the platform fails, the team is secured. We will not do that. So platform assessment will be done by the administrator. Now, the opportunity to secure slots will be opened on the 14th of February. So in the WhatsApp group, on the 14th of February, you will see a form, and you can fill the form, select the slot you want, make payments to secure it. As soon as it is secured, it's gone. And it will be updated transparently. As a matter of fact, let me show you the levels in the metrics. All these pages are blank. You can see we have level 1 to level 7, and they are all blank. They are blank because they will only be filled with data when actual people pay to secure those levels. So when we put your name as the person in level 1, for instance, it is sealed, it is locked. Nobody can come and take that position anymore because it's already filled. So when you are filling the form and you select a level and you pay to secure it, if someone else selected and paid for that level, let's assume the level is filled up. Let's say 3 people pay for a level where there can only be 2 persons. The third person, the person who paid last, will be moved to the next lower level and his balance will be refunded to him or her. So it is imperative that when the form is sent on that 14th day of February, the position you want to secure, you secure it on time so that you will not get sold out. All right. So let's move back to the Q&A and continue. Where can you get more details before making a decision? We created a group on WhatsApp, and that group, I don't know how many of you here are on it. Just give me feedback if you're on the group. You know what? If you're not on the group, give me a reaction so that I can just put the link to the group in the chat so that those who are not on the group can join. You're not on the group, please give me a reaction. Just in the chat, give me plus if you are on the group, minus if you are not on the group. So give me a feedback, let me know. Awesome, thank you. All right. So before the end of this call, I should put the link to the group in the chat so that those who are not on it can join. Just one moment. All right. Thank you for your feedback. Next question. What are the risks and what are the benefits? I'll start with the benefits. I think I've talked about the benefits a lot on this call, but I'll just run through them once again. The first benefit is that you have a secure position. Your position in this core structure is fixed. There are limited positions, and once they are filled up, there is no extra slot to be created. So you secure the slot that you own, and the level and the slot that you secure becomes yours across multiple platforms. So the second advantage is replication across platforms. You get to secure a position you can reuse across different platforms. You don't have to rebuild from scratch. The third advantage is you get activity engineered in your structure. As the administrators work on your behalf to engineer activity and generate activity through recruitment, you yourself will move from the level where you entered into up through the levels in the business platform the team decides to leverage. So activity is not something that you need to assume. It is actually engineered, is planned, and it is ensured through recruitment so that you do not have to depend heavily on your own personal effort alone. You can also depend on the assistance of the team. Now, if we are going into a platform, we go in with compliance. What do I mean by that? If you, for example, have already created an account on a platform and the team wants to register in that platform, and the people for registration begin to encounter an issue trying to create maybe an account for you, and they are seeing an error like this account or this person already exists. And it happens to be a platform where you cannot have multiple accounts and you cannot delete an existing account. Please, in that case, the platform's rules will be respected. We're not going to try and create another account and violate the rules and clone the data of the person in a way that it can be accepted in the platform. No. Platform rules are going to be respected. We're not going to violate any account. We're not going to do any forced migration, etc. So it will be built on transparency. In such a situation, we will let you know, the affected persons know, that on this particular platform, you may not be able to be with the dedicated team since you already have an account. However, in the next business that this team goes into, you will enjoy the full benefit. And we will skip that person in that particular platform. So it is built with compliance in mind. So this is one of the terms and conditions participants will have to be familiar with. Now, for those who want to do business with their family, with their existing team, or you even want to, excuse me, you want to do this thing like an investment for yourself and for your family or your team members, you can secure multiple slots, which is why, even though we know we are talking about 254 available slots, we know that very few persons, maybe like 100 persons, 50 persons, they can buy multiple slots, and all those slots you think are available, and there are so many, you'll be so shocked to find out one person has a team of 50 people already existing, and they just come and secure a section of the slots, and 50 is gone. Now, if one person were to bring in a team of 50, how many persons will it take to finish all the available slots for 254 slots available for the dedicated team? Just 5. So, as a matter of fact, the people on this call right now, they can secure all the available slots in that call structure. That's to let you know that there is scarcity and there is need for urgency. There is also the need to plan for your team if you want to come in with them. You can also come in alone. And people who come in alone like you, they are shuffled into the structure, placed under each other, and then everybody falls in on the level that is secure. And activity starts through registrations for levels 8 and 9. Now, this dedicated team, your entry into it does not guarantee lifetime access. Your entry does not guarantee lifetime access. You enter, and then the date of entry, for example, is considered like an annual subscription, and it will run the full course of 1 year. So if, for example, you were to subscribe in February, until February next year, your subscription is valid. Every business the team is going to enter into, you will be carried along on that platform. But by February of the following year, you will need to renew your access. And you can pay in one of two ways, either as a lump sum one-off payment or in installments. The conditions for paying in installments will be given, and your payments will be tracked. Very good thing that we have all the tools to track all of the activity that would-be partners might be making if they want to renew their access by paying in installments. Another good thing is that you will have 1 whole year to evaluate the value of this dedicated team for you as an individual or for your team members, and come up with the decision whether to continue or not. So membership is not forced. Like at the moment, you might be thinking, do you want to do this? Maybe, maybe not. you can give it a trial for the first 1 year, see how it goes, and see if you would like to continue. So your first entry is not in installments. Please take note. That first entry, you are making the full payment to secure the slot. But beyond that point, you can renew it by paying in installments. The reason why this payment is important is because when we move from one platform to another, we will run adverts again to get levels 8 and 9 of the participants that make up the expansion layer in this new platform. So we need to continually have a source from where that funds will be drawn. But the great news here is that the entry fee is very affordable. And I'm going to get to that in a minute. All right, now let us talk about the risk, because I don't like to come here and blow smoke and tell you everything is good, all is well. I will tell you about the pros and the cons, the risk and the benefits. Now let us talk risk. The first risk is that there is no platform guarantee. As a person who have lived through platform collapse, platform shutdown, and platform bankruptcy, even platform migration, I can tell you for free, this risk is the reason why we need such a team that can move with you to a new business platform. There is no platform guarantee, hence we have a team that can outlive platform collapse. So this system very well acknowledges the reality that there is no platform guarantee. Another risk is delayed alignment. What does that mean? You may already have created an account on a platform the team wants to go into, and you are a member of the team. What will then happen? And the platform is such that there are platforms that you cannot delete the account you've created. You cannot reposition it. You cannot merge it. You cannot have multiple accounts. So some platforms with such strict rules, you may not be able to be registered under the dedicated team on such a platform, and we may pass over you, but you will enjoy the benefits in the next platform that we enter into. Let me tell you, there are many platforms. Many of you have heard about this business of oil palm. I think they call it, it's kind of like real estate land banking, but it takes the form of real estate that they plant oil on, which then takes about 3 years to mature and starts to yield. That business has a network marketing model that we can use a team like this to leverage, and everybody in that team will have the maximum advantage. Like, what we can do with this team is amazing. It's amazing. The platforms we can enter into and the kind of money we can make by taking advantage of the community that we want to create right here is amazing. All right. Now, annual commitment is something to consider. You have to renew your subscription yearly. And if you don't renew your subscription, it might not allow the team to continue with you as they move into a new platform. So if you continue to delay the renewal, for example, you can miss a platform activation. And if they register on a platform without you and then you now make your subscription payment afterwards, it will not be possible to come and register you on that platform after they have already filled up the slots and already moved without you. So that's another risk to consider. Now, another thing is this, we are not giving you any promises of income. We're not giving you any promises or guarantees of profit. We're not giving you any assurances. We are rather telling you that we are creating a team that we can reuse across multiple platforms, However, the actual result depends on the platform, depends on the execution. We can guarantee creation of the structure and the administrators. We cannot guarantee the platform itself, the lifetime and lifespan of it, the guarantees of profits from the platform. All those results are platform dependent. So we are not promising you returns or giving you guarantees of assurances of profit. So please take note. We're explaining a business concept and inviting you to join a dedicated team that will be used and reused across different platforms. We're not making a promise of guaranteed profits. All right. Having gotten that out of the way, we focus on structure over individual control. So if you join this team, you are saying you are trusting the judgment and the assessment of the team, because the team will do platform assessment and make centralized decisions. Your individual preferences might be that you want to go and do a different thing, and the team says, this is what we want to do. Please note, we are using a collective strategy. So if you join this dedicated team, you are saying you prefer structure over individual control. You prefer the team to make the decisions rather than you. You prefer, you prefer alignment with the team objective rather than individual freedom of choice. So please understand, we are using collective strategy, adopting structure over individual control. All right, now, in a simple summary, the benefits are you gain position, priority, and continuity. And the risk is that you accept the uncertainty at the platform level, and you understand that it's not as if our team, the Core254, will eliminate the risk entirely. It's rather it cushions the risk and it repositions the risk at the platform level. You get to retain your team structure. I will now conclude this presentation with the pricing for each of the levels and the pricing rationale. The pricing and the pricing rationale. Now, the level at the base of the core structure, which is level 7, you only pay 5,000 naira to gain access to the level 7. At that level 7, your benefit is when we recruit active people in level 8 and 9, you will get your first 2 and your next 4 partners in your structure who will be working and creating activity that gives you upward momentum. And to get this 6 active partners in your structure, all you are paying is 5,000 naira. Like, if I was a network marketer and somebody told me this when I was starting out, that I can actually get all that advantage across different businesses. It's not as if you only have that in one business. The next business and the next and the next. I think I would probably have been a more successful networker than I am currently. And I think that I am even quite successful as far as network marketing goes. All right. The next level, level 6, will have a 75% increase against the price of level 7. So instead of 5,000 naira, the people in level 6 are paying 8,750 naira. 75% increase. Now, that level, they would have level 7 under their structure, as well as level 8 and 9, and all the other benefits that all the other participants will enjoy, including spillovers, spill-unders, upward momentum, business continuity, and a dedicated team that will move with them across businesses. Level 5 also is priced 75% higher than level 6. So the price point is 15,400 naira for the slots in level 5. Very affordable. And for that, you get level 6, level 7, level 8, and level 9 under your structure. So your structure goes 4 levels deep. And when you have a structure that goes 4 levels deep, it means you have your first 2, your next 4, your next 8, and your next 16, making a total of 31 people under your structure. Now, for those in level 4, and those in level 4 will be a total of 16 people, they will be paying 75% more than what those in level 5 had paid. And that is to say that they will pay 26,950 naira to secure the 16 limited slots in level 4. These people are going to get level 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. 5 levels under their structure. That means in total, they will get the first 2, the next 4, the next 8, the next 16, and the next 32 people in their structure, making a total of 64 people in their structure. Now, for those in level 3, 8 persons in level 3, they will be paying 75% more than what those in level 4 paid. So they will be paying 47,200 naira to secure the limited 8 slots in level 3. And for that, they will get level 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, 6 levels of activity and volume under their structure. Now, let me move on very quickly. For those in level 2, they'll be getting 9. Sorry, give me a minute. Just a minute. Let me mute this. All right. So, for those in level 3, they'll be getting, I think I already spoke about level 3. They'll be getting levels 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 under them. And then for those in level 2, they'll be getting level 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 under them. And those in level 1, just 2 persons in level 1. They'll be getting 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. That is a total of 8 levels under them, and a total of 512 persons under them. Now, we will take all these funds generated, use it to run adverts, bring in the first 256 persons in level 8, and the next 512 persons in level 9. When we recruit level 8 and 9, we are done for that particular platform. At that point, you are now responsible for your own activity. When we move to another platform, we follow the same playbook. And that is it. Remember that these monies we generate will not only be used for advertisements, they will also be used to pay the active administrative staff. At this point, I will now stop the recording, open the floor for questions, take a few questions, and close this meeting by 9:45 p.m. Let me say something very quickly. I'm a person that values transparency above anything else. That is why I will not trust anybody to do this thing the way I will trust myself. And that is why even when I get an administrative team, I will closely review and monitor their performance. I will not just leave them to go and do as they like. I'll be watching them because you are making an investment. And in making that investment, I have a responsibility to secure your investment. You know, we want to launch this thing on the 14th of February so that people can buy this as investment for their loved ones. For you thinking, what Valentine gift will I give my spouse? This could be it. Now, let me also tell you, I have a mind to invest on securing slots for my own family members. But I will not say because I have the idea, let me go and quickly buy some levels. And then I'll now tell people to come and buy the other ones later. No. Everybody, not just those on this call. I'll continue this every single. I plan to do these sessions every night until 14th of February. Then on the 14th of February, I'll create a form. See, you will know if I cheat because the entry time and date, the time stamp will be there. When I create that form, 14th of February, I will send the form to the group. You will fill it. You will select the level. You will see the amount. You will pay. Your payment screenshot, you will upload it and submit the form. When you submit the form, we see level 1, this person's name. We will lock it in. That's that person that owns that level. So like this now, I will not lie to you. I have in mind to buy that level 1, the 2 slots. They have in mind to buy it for my wife and my mother. I have in mind to invest for them and secure that thing for them. However, I cannot do it because I will be cheating you of that opportunity. So on that very day, I will release the form link and all of us will have equal opportunity to secure the level that we want. And that's the transparency that I assure you will guide this process to the very end. So if you have a mind to secure multiple slots, you can. However, let me tell you something. Very profound thing to note. In network marketing, there is no position that is superior to another. Level 1 is not the best position in this network because the persons in level 6, those 64 persons in level 6, each of those positions in level 6 is as significant as level 1 because anywhere in a networking metrics that you start from is your own level 1. The people that might be ahead of you is kind of like excuse me. Has any one of you ever felt cheated when you read the story of Abraham and you begin to say, Abraham that lived during the time of the Old Testament, and look at the way he lived his life. I wish it were me that lived during this time. Does any one of you ever feel that way? No. You are not upset that someone lived before you. You are born. Someday you will die. Someone else will be giving birth to. And that person will continue their life. But they will never feel, why was I not giving birth to in 1937 or in 1962? You are as comfortable in your own entry point as anybody who entered before you. So do not be so focused on who is in the higher level. Your own level and all the benefits that it carries is very meaningful in and of itself. Now,
That's the mindset you need to have about this thing. Don't be looking at the limited slots in the higher level and feeling like, if you cannot get one of those slots, no other slot is relevant. As a matter of fact, let me give you an idea. You can look at level 4 and then begin to say, okay, you have a team and your team already has so number of levels. Or you want to build a team and you maybe have your family you want to bring in, and your family is made up of 6 people, for example. You pick 6 slots and then you look at where, okay, let's just say your own levels of the people you want to bring in runs up to 3 levels or 4. You can then pick level 4, 1 slot, level 5, 2 slots, level 6, 4 slots, and level 7, 8 slots. And you take that corner and place your people. Very simple strategy you can adopt. You must not be looking to get the highest levels in the business before you feel that you have secured a significant advantage. It doesn't work that way. Everybody in this has a price point per entry. So look at the price tag for the level and understand that this is what value you'll be getting when you pay for those higher levels. And let me tell you something. I will work for this team because this is my legacy. Now, I don't know if you know the extent of the weight of what I just said. This is not something I'm building on a platform. I built a team that ran to 120,000 people in a business and it collapsed. I built another team that was 8,000 people, alternate avenue. I won 2 cars there. After a while, it collapsed. I'm in a business right now where my very first level is over 2,000 people. Personally, I recruited, I would have to check, but the last time I checked, in my structure, I was responsible for the recruitment of 700 and something number by myself. However, when this platform had a policy change and their customer is now moving to a different platform, almost all my leaders migrated during the period of my wedding. So I was unable to support their migration and they left without me. So in translation, I came back from my wedding and I found out I don't have a team anymore. And I said, no, we are growing older. This narrative has to stop. So I want to build a team that, for me, this is going to be my own dedicated structure and basically a legacy that I will preserve outside of any platform, reusable across different platforms, and everybody who is joining me on this mission, it will be my personal responsibility to ensure they get the maximum value from it. And that is why I'm doing this. Because I have resigned from 2 jobs. Assistant manager, Food Concept Limited, I resigned there. And I was social welfare officer, Ministry of Social Development and Gender Issues, attached to the Department of Rehabilitation Services, Government Civil Service. I resigned. 2 jobs. One of them was a private organization. I was holding a very good role and very good career advancement opportunity. I left. Do you know why? Because I'm a network marketer. I love my freedom. I love to work. Like my work schedule is very crazy, but I like to work on my own terms. I like to wake up when I like to wake up. I like the freedom to come and go as I please. I like the entrepreneurship of network marketing so much. I love it. That's why I want to do this. And I have the tools, I have the resources, I have the experience and the expertise to build this thing. Like, I sabi do this thing. So I'm asking you to hire me to work for you now that I am still taking application. But when I fill up this slot, it's gone and it is gone forever. Thank you and God bless you.